Okay, alright. I plan to do this, and, here we go. Alright, what, YouTube? This is weird for me. Doing an episode reaction discussion video for Handshakers. It's an anime that's airing this season. Second episode just popped up, but I don't have paid Crunchyroll, so I just saw episode 1. And, critiquing anime is something that's, sort of hard for me, I've come to realize. Because I love the medium so much that I tend to kind of overlook a lot of things. And there aren't many anime that I super dislike, that I really hate. There's a few on there. I'll probably talk about them in some other video. But I was actually having a discussion with a friend recently about how, I don't have a lot of anime that, I would give like a 0 out of 10 or something for. Mainly because I have tried to avoid shows that everyone say are really bad for the most part. And, but maybe I overlook a lot of things. Handshakers, at least in this first episode, isn't one of them. What's going on? I guess let's get right into it. I mean, Handshakers it's an anime original, done by Studio Gohans. If you don't know who Gohans are, they did K, or Project K, which is a show I started to watch on Netflix a little while back. Didn't end up finishing it, but what I've seen of K, I liked. And the previews I saw for the show coming into the season looked pretty cool and had a cool concept. It was this whole thing about duos of people having to fight each other to challenge God or challenge some kind of godly being or something like that, which I thought was kind of cool. Kind of reminded me of Zatch Bell in that way. Zatch Bell is a show that I really liked when I was younger. And, I kind of wanted a cool battle series to watch, and this season, kind of looked lame besides Blue Exorcist and stuff like that, so I wanted to pick at least one other show to watch while I binged a show probably from a previous season. So I picked out Handshakers out of the lineup, and just finished the first episode a few minutes ago, and I kind of want to watch it again, but then I kind of don't, because I'm kind of confused. Basically, our show is about this kid, Tazuna, I think. He's got a real fixation on fixing stuff for other people. He's really good with technology, and he can fix cars and stuff like that. And people he fixes people's iPods and stuff and stuff like that. He kind of gets distracted by doing it. He kind of forgets about what he's doing. He'll be going somewhere and then forget about what he's doing to go fix something. It says he describes it himself as kind of a flaw in his character. Which, I mean, is alright, I guess. I mean, I guess it's supposed to add a little comedy to it, I guess. And you get a little bit about what this character's about. He was okay. I didn't really mind. The first thing you're going to notice in the show, I'll just get right to it, is the animation. And this is really hard for me. Because there's parts of this show that are animated so well, and then there's parts that are just shit. And I don't understand why it's like this, and maybe it's a matter of your personal opinion of 3D animation in anime. Personally, I haven't seen a ton of anime that have 3D animation in it, but the ones I have seen I haven't liked. I tried to start watching God Eater a while ago, and I dropped that show. Not just because of his animation, because that story was pretty lame. But, I don't know. I don't think I'm a big fan of it. But one thing that did intrigue me about the show was its character designs that I had seen in the previews. And the character designs are really good. Handshakers, Studio Gohans did a good job on that. I like the character designs for the most part. I don't like them when they're thrown into these weird 3D elements. And I don't understand that the cinematography of the show is the weirdest I've ever seen in any anime. It's I don't even know how to describe it, but the characters there's a lot of scenes where like there's like a discussion going on or something, or there's even some action, and the camera is just like panning like all over the place. Like it's got like super like ADD camera, and it's like here and it's here. It's like, this is gonna be kind of annoying, but it's like, oh, if I like pan my camera this way, pan it that way, and that's gonna be a horrible representation of what it is. But I don't get why it's like that. I don't know. I didn't understand the cinematography. I mean, I'm not a film major or anything like that. I don't really claim to be a master of cinematography here, but I just don't understand why it was like that, and I really didn't like it. I really didn't like the 3D animation with like the fighting aspects of this episode. I'm getting a little off point here. So we got Tazuna, right, and he likes to fix stuff, whatever. He fixes stuff, and there's this like girl in his class, his like class president, who definitely like likes him, and he kind of is oblivious to it. And she's super like fan servicey, and her boobs are like bouncing all over the place, and like really weird. She's like listening to music, and like they're like just jiggling. And I don't know what's going on. I'm not a big fan of fan service, and I really hated that aspect of this episode as well. It has a fair amount of fan service in it. But then he's fixing stuff for other people, and he keeps getting like sidetracked. And he fixes like a car for this guy, and then he's going to I think he's going to like fix something for somebody else, and then he remembers where he has to go. And he goes into this other dude's like at the apartment or something to fix something, and he sees stuff that reminds him of this traumatic thing in his past, which they don't explain it super well, but his sister passing away kind of right in front of him, and he was literally holding her hand as she passed away. And he sees this girl in the bed in this dude's apartment who kind of looks like his sister, but she has like the white hair. This girl, he sees her like sleeping and goes up to her, and he's having all these like flashbacks, and grabs her hand, and she wakes up. And when she wakes up, the doctor sensei guy, whatever, was like in the apartment. He's all like eccentric, and he's talking about how like, oh, you guys are the handshakers and stuff like that. And the kid has no idea. The kid is just like me and you. He has no idea what's going on. And the kid hears this voice in his head, which we presume is this like god-like figure that they're talking about, saying like, "You who dared define me, you are the handshaker." And the kid doesn't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden, the world just like transports where they're the only. It's the doctor's gone, who we just met. He's gone, and now we got Tazuna and this girl. I think it's Koyuri is what he keeps calling her. I think that's his sister's name. And and it's just them, and they're being. It's not just them, because now all of a sudden they're being chased by this dude and this super fan servicey chick who like fight with chains. He fights with the chains. She just kind of like sits there and is like kind of like wrapped up, and he has other like she's kind of wrapped up in chain as well. I didn't understand. He like has like something tied around her, and the more he like squeezes it, she like weirdly like orgasms, and then she like spurts out more chains all over the place, like out of the ground and walls and shit. And I don't know, it was kind of cool. I kind of like characters in shows like this that fight with like chains and like wires and stuff like that. And it was a cool concept, but it looks horrible because like it's done with this like weird 3D shit that doesn't look right, and it took away from the whole experience, made it look like a lot less badass. And I skipped a huge part here of what I didn't like about this episode. Is the very beginning starts with like this like crazy like fight thing, and then like we kind of like get back to that some kind of weird Tarantino stuff, but they did it really badly because it's just like I felt like I was at a baseball game, like I was like getting ready for the pitch, right, and the guy was gonna throw it, and then the ball was already in the catcher's mitt, like, before I even, like, picked up my bat. Like, what was going on? So I was just behind the 8 ball from the begin with. And the animation just kept distracting me. The cinematography just kept distracting me. The show's concept, apparently, is these, you have to hold hands. Oh, the doctor said, the doctor guy who magically disappeared said, if you guys stop holding hands, she's gonna die. Why? I'm sure we'll find that out. I guess I don't fully expect them to say that in the first episode, but I don't understand what is going on. And this is why I guess it's sort of like Zatch Bell. Is this girl gives, and like the chain girl for the other dude, give them like weird powers. Like she has like the chain powers, and then this Koyuri girl has like she like summons like a gear sword thing that looks a lot like the sword in Guilty Crown. If you've seen Guilty Crown, then you know what I mean. And that's a good comparison to show. It's kind of like if you took Zatch Bell and Guilty Crown, and like they had this like really like convoluted weird baby, and my knuckles just cracked. Convoluted weird baby, and just a whole lot of confusion, and had a whole bunch of like weird 3D animation, and I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna give this show at least like 3 episodes, solely because I really like the character designs, and I think GoHands is a pretty good studio. So, and I think that the concept could go somewhere. I mean, it's not going to be like the deepest show in the world, but there's something here. I liked the scene where, you know, he was holding his sister's hand, and that part was really sad. And I kind of want to know what this girl's connection to it is. They've already like alluded into like the preview of the next episode that he's gonna like see her naked or something. It's gonna be more like fan servicey stuff, and I don't want any like incesty things. I just want this. Can't this just be like brother sister relationship? If that's what she is, I don't know. It's definitely what she represents. My goodness. Oh my god. If I upset anybody, please let me know in the comments what I missed in this episode, and I mean, try not to spoil it for me or whatever. I guess you could like message Gyre Media and tell me, oh no, Bobby, you totally missed this. This explains everything. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. But maybe I found an anime that I might hate. I don't know, because there's a lot of potential here, and I feel like it's just gonna let me down. And you know, everybody has said that this season was is gonna be shit, and I kind of believe it. I mean, Blue Exorcist is doing alright. But, yeah, this video's going way too long. Tell me down in the comments below what you guys thought of Handshakers. Don't spoil it for everybody, but... And do you like, let me know if you accept, 3D animation in anime. I know there's a show called Ajin that everybody says is really good and that uses a lot of 3D stuff. But, for me, if it's like this, I don't really like it. Then again, not a lot of experience with it. I have to try out some more. But yeah, Handshakers. Let me know what you guys think and what the hell's going on. Oh, one more thing. I did take notes, and I really wanted to mention this. There's a specific scene, and I feel like Anime Sins, which is a pretty cool channel. Check that out. Anime Sins wouldn't notice it. There's a scene when they're fighting, right? Well, fighting. They don't really like fight. I mean, it's like barely a fight towards the end. They just kind of like yell at each other. The dude with the chain chick, he's like, you know, saying, oh, you're a handshaker or whatever. This is what handshakers do. We fight. And the kid has obviously no idea what the hell is going on. And then he's like, they're just sitting there, right? And he's into the room, and he has the chain girl, and she's throwing her chains all over the place. And he's like, oh, have you stopped running? They weren't running anywhere. I distinctly remember that. They were kind of running a little bit in the beginning, but other than that, he's been kind of just sitting there confused, and this other, like, douche guy has been just, like, throwing chains and making his, like, friend, like, orgasm all over the place. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but as always, this is Bobby, signing out.